Hello, and welcome to Handling Emergencies in Online NAMI Programming. This video defines what is and is not an emergency during online NAMI programming and provides the appropriate steps to respond to an emergency. Preparation is the key to safe and efficient emergency responses. Before offering any NAMI programming online, review your NSO/NA Emergency Response Protocols for Online Programming. The Emergency Response in Online NAMI Programs Guide can be used to develop or adapt your existing protocols. Meet with your online program team, the two program leaders and producer, and thoroughly review the guide listed above together. Discuss with your team how you'll handle emergencies before your online programs start, using the guide as a basis for the discussion. Keep in mind that your protocols may vary depending on the program you're offering. NAMI support groups have traditionally required the strongest emergency response protocols, but you may apply the same approach to classes and presentations. Before each online program begins, your team should have all the following information on file and easily accessible for each participant: the participant's phone number, the participant's physical address, the phone numbers for the mobile crisis units, known as MCUs, in the county of the participant's physical address, if available. Please note, not all counties have an MCU. You must research if one exists in your participant's county before the program begins. The name and phone number of the participant's emergency contact persons. Prep breakout rooms before the meeting begins. When setting up each new meeting, the producer should create at least one breakout room to be used in emergency situations. It's beneficial for your team to practice using breakout rooms before the program begins. For example, the producer might practice pulling the program leaders in and out of the breakout room so that the team is familiar with this process. Is it an emergency or a tough topic? It's not always straightforward. When you're assessing whether something is an emergency, first ask yourself, is there immediate physical danger? This danger could be due to a medical emergency or a participant making threats. If the answer is yes, then this is an emergency that requires immediate attention. Calling 911 is the appropriate response in this scenario. When calling 911, program leaders should review the detailed steps on pages 5 and 6 of the Emergency Responses in Online NAMI Programs Guide. Program leaders can also refer to NAMI's Navigating a Mental Health Crisis Guide for more specifics on interacting with 911 and first responders. If there is no immediate physical danger, but the participant is extremely distressed, there are several ways to address the situation. If you're in a support group, first use the hot potatoes process and/or the emergency procedures flowchart. If you're in a class, strategies like emotional stages or predictable emotional responses are more appropriate. In a NAMI family-to-family class, program leaders should use the tough topics process. If you have worked through the hot potatoes, tough topics, emotional stages process, and the participant is still distressed, you will need to ensure the participant is safe by asking them about suicidal thoughts to assess if a mental health emergency exists. Note, a program leader will have to ask the participant this question in front of the group. There are several possible scenarios where you are assessing if something is a mental health emergency. If the individual denies suicidal thoughts, one program leader should ask permission to speak with the participant privately in a breakout room while the co-presenter continues to lead the program. If the participant gives their permission, the program leader should provide emotional support and follow-up plans, for example, local crisis resources, contact with a support person. If the individual expresses suicidal thoughts and does not have a plan, means, and time frame, give the same support mentioned in number 1. If the individual expresses suicidal thoughts and has a plan, means, and time frame to carry them out, then this is a mental health emergency. If the individual expresses suicidal thoughts and logs off abruptly, program leaders should treat this as a mental health emergency. If the situation is a mental health emergency, use the following steps to respond. The first step to respond to a mental health emergency is for one of the program leaders to contact the participant's emergency contact person. First, the producer should pull one of the program leaders and the participant into a breakout room. The producer may also be asked to make the call to the participant's emergency contact if the program leader is speaking with the participant. If pulling the program leader and participant into a breakout room isn't possible, the program leader should ask the participant if they may call the participant and then continue the debrief over the phone. Please note, if the participant hangs up or logs off, call the emergency contact. During this one-on-one session, the program leader should tell the participant that they are also going to call the participant's emergency contact person. When the program leader connects with the participant's emergency contact person, they should explain the situation and ask for actionable next steps. Potential actionable next steps could include redirecting the participant to crisis services and/or connecting them to emotional support people. Program leaders can find an example script to use in this situation on page 3 of the Emergency Response in Online NAMI Program document. As a best practice, your NAMI state organization or affiliate should have a directory of crisis services and hotlines to send to participants, for example via email during registration, and this should also be offered to the emergency contact. Best practices for calling emergency contact people is to call once and leave a voicemail if the emergency contact does not pick up. Then call again and leave a text indicating that the participant is experiencing a mental health crisis and that you may call a mobile crisis unit or 911 if you cannot connect the participant to other means of support. Important: the participant's emergency contact must be with the participant, or the participant must be connected to crisis services before the program leader can relent. Until one of these things happen, program leaders must stay with the participant in distress to connect them with their emergency contact or crisis services. If you are unable to connect with the participant's emergency contact person, the second step to respond to a mental health crisis, call the Mobile Crisis Unit, MCU, in the participant's community if one exists. Be as detailed as possible about the mental health emergency. Wait online with the attendee until the MCU arrives, keeping in mind that this may be for an extended period. The producer or the program leader should continue calling or texting the emergency contact person to keep them updated. Before we close out this video, we wanted to let you know that the NAMI team has provided you with a summary sheet of helpful tips and information included in this video. Please check out the Emergency Response in Online NAMI Programs Guide located in NAMINet and linked on this page. We hope that this video has helped you to create emergency response protocols that feel effective and appropriate. Should you have any questions, please contact the NAMI education team. Thank you for your time and effort in making online NAMI programs a place of safety and support for those impacted by mental health conditions.